Jolan Tru Centurions, and welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. I'm Captain Turek of Heavy Cruiser RS Gigas as we continue our campaign against the Hydrastar Kingdom. And last time, well, we've made our way all the way over here, and we are currently engaged in battle. Well, we were originally engaged in battle in an attempt to capture a station that was right here, but it got destroyed because we're really good at our job. And now we will be invading the planet of 413 with an Empire defense of 45, so this could take a little bit longer. Hopefully we won't take any serious damage, but let us set out into space so that we can hopefully, well, grab a planet. It's going to be a little bit difficult. We may end up just traveling further on to see if there's an easier to grab station. In fact, that's probably the best idea that we have at the moment, because if we attempt to actually take out this planet, it's going to be long, hard, and difficult to do, especially with a heavy cruiser off there in the distance. It is a THR. The planet itself is a PLPH-12, which will defend itself quite heavily with lots of heavy weapons, so this will be unfortunate. So let's get ourselves in full battle on this one. Reinforce the forward shield to the maximum level. Overload all the plasma torpedoes. And let's pick up enough speed in order to actually get ourselves involved in the combat. Luckily for us, we don't actually have to worry too much about electronic countermeasure because we have homing weapons, although it does cause a little bit of damage reduction, which is something to keep in mind. Let us increase the speed of time as we will rush on in here as quickly as we can. Hopefully we want to break this heavy cruiser before it can break us. There doesn't appear to be any supporting forces off in the distance. Now, most Hydrogen vessels are equipped with fighters, so I anticipate he will launch quite a few of them to try and take us down. With any luck, there won't be too many. I'm seeing several. Is it only two? Oh, it looks to only be three. Okay, lovely. So I can actually focus on you. What we're going to do is we're going to engage the tractor beam, and we're going to basically do a standard Gorn tactic, which is to basically run up to the enemy, grab him with a whole bunch of systems, and then just fire everything you've got into him. So the tractor beam will hold him still, make sure you can't deploy what is called a wild weasel, which will prevent our weapons from locking onto him. So we just need to hopefully time this properly. Get in close enough, prepare for it. Range of 2.5. There it is. Fire all weapons. Prepare to like... Oh, wow, our forward shield is gone. That is unplanned for and unfortunate. Cut that now. And cloak. And back up to normal time. So that wasn't the plan. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of anticipating just killing him or breaking him, but no, he has apparently broken us. So that's not good. Let's go check in the repairs. We damaged our plasma torpedoes, our tractor beams, as well as our phasers. But other than that, we're mostly okay. Let's start to slow down. We need to get our power back as fast as we can. These fighters are mostly ignorable at this point, but I need my plasma torpedoes before I decloak to try and fight him. Yes, we've weakened all of his shields, which is wonderful. Unfortunately, he's just a little bit too strong for me to want to actually take full on. Although we have, looks like, managed to take out one of his phasers. So that'll be a little bit helpful. We're not the biggest thing in the universe, but once we get our plasma torpedoes back, then we'll be able to break him. And we won't stand a chance. So we're going to skulk along nice and slowly so we can get our systems back. Also to prevent him from being able to drop mines on top of us that will cause us to decloak. This puts us in a nice, safe location where if he tries to mine us, we'll just slip underneath the mine. Although if he does mine us, these fighters will probably set him off. So if he was smart, he'd probably do that, because his fighters are basically free. He's also attempting to repair several of his ship's systems, so we can kind of just stay away from him. He's slowed down a little bit, which is a tad unfortunate. I don't want him to do too much with us at the moment. I do want to just hang deep underneath in cloak until we got our plasma torpedoes back online. So basically, we're mimicking what the AI loves to do to this. Now, he's doing what we love to do to the AI, which is just hang right on top of them to make sure that when they do decloak, they're in a world of hurt. Okay, maximum speed. So give me some power to get away from this guy, or at least to build open the range. It's going to be critical here. Did manage to hit us with that one. He did manage to hit us with that one as well. Okay, we could possibly break away. So I want to get enough distance so that when I fire my plasma torpedoes, I don't screw myself over. So here we go. Let's get ready to spin it like a top. We are going to reveal ourselves mostly to these fighters, but that's fine. Oh, darn it, you had enough. I was really hoping you wouldn't, but we're out of cloak. We've taken out his fighters at this point, so now it's time to kind of duel. I don't want to fight him too much on a straight and even keel, just because it'd be much easier if we didn't have to, but that may be the best plan we've got. So unfortunately, we don't have a whole heck of a lot of phasers, and if we play close to him, he'll use his Gatling phasers very effectively against us. So what we need to do is build some distance. Engines are not actually damaged at the moment, I don't think. So I'm going to use some speed to get away from him. Oh, mining is intelligent. That'll weaken my shields pretty considerably. And aft shields appear to be down. Yeah, they're gone. So now we have problems, starting to lose systems a little bit. And now he's really starting to get in on us. Right. Where's our plasma torpedo? Get me back under cover. I don't want to fight this openly. So we did get a good hit in, but we're not actually in a good position to follow up on that. I'm going to slow right back down, and we're just going to use stealth. So attempting to be aggressive was a mistake, clearly and obviously. So we're going to get our systems back underway and ready to go. If he can hit me through an open shield, he can cause damage, even though a lot of the time it'll be reduced. So we'll just sort of mess around with this for a little bit. Don't want to go too slow and give him an opportunity to hurt me. Oh, those Hellbores. He's knocked out a Plasma F. Well, it was the Plasma F I was kind of waiting on, so I don't need to wait on it anymore. Helm, 77% chance. I don't want to risk that. Drop a mine, see if that'll push him away. Or is he going to be aggressive about it? No, it pushed him away. Okay, lovely. So we'll turn back around. And we do want that Plasma Torpedo back. And the phaser. Come on, our cloak. So he has opened fire on us immediately. So let's get a tractor beam going. And the forward shield reinforcement is struggling, but managing to hold. Okay, repair going. Oh, darn it. They knocked out another plasma torpedo. Gosh darn it. So we're going to have to get in here with our remaining 2 S-type plasma torpedoes. This has not been a fun mission. Well, a successful mission so far. So come on, give me a lock, give me a lock. I don't want to have to worry about his fighters. Or not his fighters, but his shuttle bay. Okay, knocked out most of his shields. Now we can get in there with the phasers. And let him go. We're going to disappear. So we hurt him again quite nicely. It looks like we may have knocked out his Hellbore. That would be very helpful. So we're going to drift away, let our phaser capacitor fully charge, let our systems fully charge as best as we can as we skulk. Once we get our plasma torpedoes back, we can hopefully hurt him quite badly. I don't know how many more fighters or how many more wild weasels he got, but I am a little bit concerned about them because they can potentially be a very dangerous threat. Now we do have some forward shield defense at the moment, which is fine. That'll help out a little bit for any sort of plinking phaser fire should it actually manage to hit our forward shield. And it looks like he's actually playing very defensively now. He doesn't want to be anywhere near us, and I can only applaud him for that action. So let me do this. He'll start to come out of the cloak. He is going to turn into me, but I'm going to... or maybe not. In that case, I'm going to dick back on the cloak. Maybe he'll fire his Hellbores from way out there. I want to kind of set this up properly. Come on, cloak. Plasma torpedoes. Fire the series. And I'm basically probing him to see if he's got a wild weasel or not. He does. Okay, lovely. So what we've just done now is we've set him up for pain. Because he's just utilized a wild weasel against a target that didn't actually exist. Namely those 4 plasma torpedoes, which didn't actually do anything to him. So because of that, now he doesn't have a wild weasel prepared and ready to go. So what we can do now is turn on in nice and slowly. I don't want to be too close to him. Once he hits a speed of 4, he will no longer be under the protection of the wild weasel. So we need to manage the fact that we can't be too close to him, otherwise we'll eat our own plasma torpedoes. Alright, there we go. Plasma's away. We've knocked out all of his shields. We can duck under cloak. We've hurt him quite badly at this point, and we'll slip on through. Hopefully he doesn't have his Hellbores ready to go. Looks like we've stunned one offline at the very least. And we've destroyed his shuttle bay. It has been destroyed at this point. So now we're in a nice commanding position because... well, not super commanding. But we are in an okay position because he can't utilize wild weasels even if he's got them. So that's very powerful for us to be in. He's going to continue to charge everything. I don't like him being back there because he theoretically can cause a lot of damage if he gets any good hits in. I'm tempted to drop a mine, but he may just decide to plow it. We're going to find out. Now, I'm using one of my lower power mines in case he attempts to plow it, which it does look like he's going to try. Ow. So basically, he hurt me in order to do that, which caused me to pop out a cloak briefly, but he didn't seem to try and take advantage of that. He only has one Galling phaser, which he's used. Looks like he's used most of his phasers at this point. If he high energy turrets, he'll hurt me quite badly, but I'm hoping he won't. Oh, phasers were sufficient to deal the job. Okay, so we've taken out the defending target, and now we can maximum speed of time as we get our ship ready to go take on the planet itself. So the planet is, I believe, a PLPH. So according to this, PLPH 12. It is defended with heavy weapons that will be difficult to have to work with, but what we can do is we can cloak our way in. So if we check to see how much power we currently have available, our weapons are fully charged, so we can go a speed of this, which is a speed of 9.5. Not particularly swift, but we are very dangerous now. Although it's going to take us a little while to actually get to the planet itself. Maybe we should try and get in close. Yeah, we'll try and get in close from long range. So utilize most of our power into the forward shield in order to defend ourselves, and we'll sprint in to get close enough. Then, once we hit a dangerous enough range, we'll cloak back underneath, get it even closer, wait for him to fire all of his weapons into us while we are cloaked, and then we'll decloak, fire him, and recloak. It is a very effective and dangerous strategy. Just gotta double check. I've got 25 Marines. Lovely, although I do need to fix that. That is, of course, one of our transporters. Which, if we don't have enough transporters, it'll be... Oh, crap. Cloak. If we don't have enough transporters, then we won't be able to conquer the planet. Because we need to be able to put enough Marines down quickly in order to prevent them from being able to stop us from, killing everybody on the planet. So the one problem that I did not think of, and I should have, is this planet is equipped with 8 Hellbore cannons, which will always hit the weakest shield, which is a bit of a problem. I'd like to get within a range of 10 so I can use my weapons most efficiently, but I do believe he's probably going to hit us on, well, all of the ship. So let's reinforce all shields. Get me to the close enough range. Okay, there we are. Wait for him to fire, because it is important that he shoots first. If he shoots at us while we're this close, we're going to die. So we need to... Oh, shoot, we fired everything. Didn't mean to do that. I only want to shoot the plasma torpedoes. And as you can see, able to knife through all of the shielding at this point. So an excellent job done there. Just as soon as we get that... Okay, good. Now we have some power. We have 6 points of power, well, 6.1 points of power remaining now that we're charging just the plasma torpedoes, which means we have 1 point of power defending all of the shields. Hopefully that'll be enough in order to keep his Hellbores from actually hurting us. And he is managing to get a couple of good hits in with his Phaser 4s, which is quite damaging, because if he does cut through, I mean, if he deals enough damage to outpace our regeneration, we'll be in trouble, because the shield will always spread itself evenly over all your defenses. Wait for the S-type plasma torpedo to fully charge, and then wait for them to fire. That'll be key. That's the fire. And back underneath. And for 68 damage. And we're just sort of sandpapering down the entirety of the planet. Okay, so he is coming through. So we gotta switch. Forward shields only. We're gonna have to rely on this aft shield. To do this, this'll put 2 points of power in each shield. Hopefully that's enough. At least long enough in order to... Okay, I don't need the aft shield reinforced anymore. So just these two, so that'll be 3 points of power in each shield. Hopefully that'll be sufficient. It's a little bit 6 in one after another. Wait for him to fire again. Come on, you know you want to. You know you want to waste... There it is. And back underneath. And we just pop up and down and up and down, and bit by bit, we will start to rip him apart. Now, normally, a ship like this would be a much more difficult assault. We'd be out of cloak, we'd be at a range of about 15, maybe even 20, lobbing our S-type plasma torpedoes only to try and get in the damage. But for here, because we're Romulans, we can just basically hide underneath cloak, which gives us a lot better defense and able to basically tank all of his fire, which is one of the greatest strengths that Romulans have. The fact that they can do this, and basically nobody else can, is just insanely powerful. So we've dealt a pretty considerable amount of damage to this planet already. Looks like we've knocked out 2 of his Gatling phasers, as well as 4 of his Gatling phasers. So half of the Gatling planetary defenses are down already, which is a nice pickup so far. 132 damage in that last salvo means he's not holding off against much anymore. Before, he was able to reduce our damage quite a bit by using those Gatling phasers to blast on into the plasma torpedoes we're sending his way, but he just doesn't have them anymore. And now they're striking through at basically full strength, which is doing an excellent job. So we've managed to knock out another one of his planetary defense phasers. 2 of his phaser 4s are down, although he's attempting to repair the one. And as long as we can just keep doing this over and over to him, he will not be able to stop us. So his phasers not having a sufficient amount of accuracy to hit us while we are under cloak, and so we can just keep bobbing back and forth. We've already weakened him to a point where we could capture the planet. Okay, he's fired. Our plasma torpedoes, and back under cloak. Let's get in closer. Why do I want to get in closer? Because he's down to a point where I can capture this planet. There are only 2 Marines left on this planet. I literally can't bring it down to any weaker. So my plan will be to get to a range of 5.99, which is the maximum range of a transporter device, decloak, fire, and then send in the Marines, and then we're out of here. We will skulk away. Of course, this is dangerous in itself, trying to get this close to the planet, because the closer we get to the planet, more damage that Phaser 4 deals. And if we can deal enough damage, it could kill us. Out and in. Then 142 damage is lovely. We're almost into transporter range. I'll stop. So we're going to wait for him to fire one last time. Come on. There it is. Back underneath. And that's it. We've conquered a planet. We have 2 Marines controlling. He has 1 Marine over there, so we just need to wait for the Marines to do their job. Okay. Can reinforce the aft shield only. And we'll start to slip on away. Because we don't need to fight anymore. Yeah, the planetary defenses are still intact, but who cares? Because we're going to own the planet shortly. And we can slip away nice and safely. The battle began quite difficultly, as that heavy cruiser was very well equipped to actually hurt us. But once we got to the planet itself, it was completely unable to defend itself. So our Marines will finish conquering the rest of the planet. Romulan Marines, if you can imagine such a thing. And there we go. We have conquered a planet through the power of the cloaking device. Use it, and you will very much prosper. The Romulans kick major behind when they use their cloaking devices, because it just is an amazing weapon system. 495 prestige is our reward for a job well done. We're going to slip off over here and over here. Unfortunately, it's going to lock us into an asteroid base assault. That is unfortunate. I wanted to go try and find another Hydrastar starbase to see if we couldn't use that as a base of operations, but that is not going to happen. It looks like overload the weapon systems, give us a full forward shield reinforcement. We'll be prepared for anything. Hopefully it's pirates and not, you know, Hydrans, because Hydrans are particularly well equipped to deal with us. So Hydrans, by virtue of their different weapon systems, are really good at fighting Romulans. So first and foremost, if we're out of cloak, their Gatling phasers are stunningly effective in the amount of damage that they can actually do to us. So Gatling phasers, if we are in cloak, won't be able to touch us at all, but if we're trying to sneak up behind somebody and they're basically on top of us when we're decloaking, they can hurt us incredibly badly. Also, their Hellbore is a near perfect weapon for fighting cloak ships, because the Hellbore cannon that they do will hit all 6 shields and then focus on the weakest one. So you can't just try and abuse the system. Here's my plan. You're going to get that and that, so I don't have to worry about you for a little while. And then I'm going to go kill you. You are 4 fighters. Yeah, you're going to be worth everything. So fire this and this. And if you survive, I'll fire more. Let's see if you can survive all this. You did. Well, you didn't. And now on to you. 12 fighters in a ship this small. Jeez. Fire all that. And duck. What do you got? Phasers only. Okay, we can work with this. So, while we're underneath cloak, the fighters actually can't hit us. The Phaser 3 is not capable of harming a vessel under cloak. Don't know why. I assume it has to do with the damage brackets that it has because we're under cloak. It's like we're two levels of distance further on, plus 1 or 2 for every point of 1 away that we are. So, in essence, Gatling phasers and Phaser 3s literally can't harm us. His Phaser 2s and 1s can harm us. So I'm going to try and pull away a little bit. Actually, no, never mind. I'm going to have to skulk a little bit, which could be a little bit dangerous, but this is what we must do. And the reason why we have to do this is because we need our plasma torpedoes again. It took all 4 plasma torpedoes to actually wipe out the fighters, and the fighters are dangerous enough that they need to die first. We really can't try and take them on. It won't work out in our favor, unfortunately. So, the fighters, even though these are the weakest form of fighters, they only have a Phaser 3 on board, they are terrifyingly effective even against us. So what we're going to do is we're going to slow down speed of time. We're going to wait for this guy to make his pass through, because I anticipate he will be... Yeah, he did. And are you going to operate? Decloak. One of you is about to get a whole bunch of plasma torpedoes. Fire everything. So let's see if we can hit him. He is retreating away, which is going to reduce the firepower of our plasma, but I'm hoping it wasn't enough. More phasers. Got him. Okay. Poke. Our aft shield took a bit of a pounding on that one, so it's almost open, but it's not dead yet, and we weakened these fighters fairly considerably. So there are only 3 fighters instead of 4 now at this point, which means plasma torpedoes should be quite much more effective against them. Hopefully they won't return to the ship. If they do return to the ship, then they'll be back at full strength eventually when they finally come out of cloak. But until that happens, in fact, I'm going to go make sure that my aft shield doesn't drop. I'm going to put the 1 point of power that I currently have saved over into the aft shield so that I can just keep that intact a little bit easier. Again, he can't hit us with the phaser 3s, but he can still be quite dangerous. He's going to just do donuts around me, so we don't want to get dizzy. Hopefully he will leave us alone in a little bit, because if he builds out the range again, then that'll be fine. So we're going to sort of joust with him a little bit. We don't want to be too close to him. The range is 0. He has a chance of hitting us. So we want to keep the range open a little bit. Okay, we're about to get ready for our pass here. We're going to wait for the... Ooh, a high energy turn. Clever move on his part, because now that locks us into an area where we have to either expose ourselves to him. There we go. High energy turn on our own right. That's probably not enough. Oh, actually, no, I take that back. Okay, we bounce that. Not sure what's going on with that one. Give me another cloak. I just want to pull the stern away from him. So we've dealt with his fighters, which is great. So we now don't have to worry about them. Our forward shield took a little bit of a pounding, but the forward shield's still intact. So now he has no fighters, and he's only got a couple of phasers, which means he's much more vulnerable. So unfortunately, though, he is still rather dangerous to us, particularly, since his phaser group and all of those shields is actually going to be quite difficult to crack through. He has a lot of power for it, since he doesn't have any heavy weapons to charge. So I need to draw the distance out once again. So we're just going to sort of zigzag back and forth. Hopefully we can drag this wide. And now. Speed of time. Plasma torpedoes. Fire the citadels. What I'm hoping to do here is exactly that. Why am I hoping to do that? Because now I can put all power to forward shields. Because we are outside. Actually, no, we are inside. Never mind. I was about to say we're outside of Gatling phaser range, but no, we're definitely inside. So all power to the forward shields. We are going to be ducking into cloak soon. It's going to take a lot of power. In fact, I'm going to shut off the phaser recharge rate. Wait for it. 3, 2, now. And duck. And as you can see, oh, he actually hit us. Oh, yeah, he got through our forward shield. Engines can be repaired, though. And we've managed to tear out most of his shields. We just got to keep him away from the bow now. So as you can see, the plasma torpedo started going for the Wild Weasel, but the moment he hit over a speed of 10, no longer was that the case. Okay, we need to just keep the bow away from you, buddy. I'm just going to zigzag. Yeah, shoot at my stern for a little while. Not too much, hopefully, because I need that stern. But there's the forward shield again. Doing a good job of actually hurting me a lot. Okay, he built the range out again. So now I can engage. We'll fire a single S-type plasma torpedo. We're going to probe the waters with it. See if he's got anything holding. Just going to fire him one at a time here. Another one. And the last 2. No, stagger things properly. Okay, that hurt us quite considerably because we got splashback from being too close to him as he exploded. But that's a victory I'm willing to take. Maximize speed time. We need to figure out where his starbase is now at this point. So it should be off or off in this direction. It generally is. Upper left-hand corners tend to be the safe money on that. And activate a deep scan as well. That'll increase our sensor range by 33%. Make it a little bit easier to actually locate this target here. And there it is. Off in the distance. Forward shield's coming back, which is lovely. And we're going to do to him exactly what we did to the planet itself. So we have the exact same game plan in mind. He does have a little bit of a better defense setup, or not defense, but offense setup, because his phaser force can fire in all directions, so he's going to be able to fire all of his phaser force into us as this happens. However, he doesn't have any shields, which means we'll be doing damage to him much more aggressively. Also, he only has 4 phaser 3s instead of 4 or 8 phaser Gs, which can really reduce the amount of damage, so he's not going to be able to reduce the damage nearly as much. So we're going to slip in close, decloak. Crack. That sucked. So we can't go quite that fast, it appears. Because he was able to just knock out our forward shield, which kind of sucks. We need to wait for the recharge rate to come back. So once the shield recharges, there we go. I should be safe at about 10. Yeah, 10 is okay. 10 is safe, reasonably. Although it'll get worse and worse the closer we get, and that makes life just a little bit more difficult. It's kind of amusing, though, just how much damage he's dealing at this range. At this range, which is photon torpedo range, he's still able to deal a considerable amount of pain to us. Alright, time to start slowing down, because we need the more forward shield. And then we'll pass into cloak range, and then we'll hide underneath the cloak as we get extra close to him. Is my shield reinforcing? Good, the forward shield. Alright, duh, I should have known that. For some reason I thought was still caught on it being on the aft shield. So we're going to skulk in here, and now disappear. I'm going to turn just in case, so I'm going to hopefully protect the forward shield, and I'm going to slow down. So now the forward shield is actually being defended a little bit. He did fire on us, so we can fire our plasma torpedoes, and now duck right back underneath, and we're going to stop. 150 damage done from that, so excellent. He's almost down at this point, and the forward 3 points of power that we have are holding, which I suppose is good. So now we just need to do this a couple more times, and we'll hopefully have him taken down. I'd love to get even closer to him, but I don't dare. I don't know if this forward shield can actually hold under much more pressure. So we do need to wait for him to fire once again, then we'll pop at a cloak, fire, and disappear back in the cloak. Yeah, the forward shield is collapsing. Back in the cloak, so we're actually going to turn, and I'm going to present the forward port shield for a little bit until, you know, we can turn back over to the forward shield and defend it a little bit better. So another 150 damage dealt to him. His phaser 3s are starting to be reduced, which should help cause our plasma torpedoes to do even more damage as things come along. And once that's taken care of, then we should be good. Well, actually, no, it's really more the phaser 4s that are the problem at the moment. Okay, he's fired. Oh, he fired again. He's staggering his shots a little bit. And there we go. That'll be the starbase destroyed. A lovely show from everybody involved. So we can decloak the ship since it's all nice and safe out here. And we can move on to bigger and better things. So 226 prestige is the reward for a job well done. Lock that down. But that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. Before I see a notification every time I post one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.